fade that out. It's tragic when I have to cut that song off. Man, like I said, if you ain't digging that, there is something wrong with you.
Gets us pumped up.
Yes, it does. All right, y'all. How you doing? Hey, I'm a little tardy. I'm just a little tardy because I've been doing double duty today. Been trying to bring you that Zoloft vid. I put the Zoloft vid up, you guys. But I don't know if anybody knows. They're saying the thing. Hey, Zo, how come you don't make any videos anymore? It's like, yeah, I'm still making videos. I'm sorry if you're not getting them, but I'm making them. So I got another dose from the Zoloft for you, and plus that I'm doing my Bible trip. So I'm trying to make y'all happy, man.
Yes.
I'm trying.
I hope you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope folks appreciate it enough to visit my Facebook page and visit my website and say, "Oh, Zoe's got a new video." Instead of waiting for Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or whatever to notify you or for you to see it in feeds, chances are you ain't gonna see it. You gotta come get it yourself if you actually want it. So I don't want to be here to, "Hey Zoe, how come you're not creating any more videos? Where'd you go? Where'd you go?" You gotta come and get it. All right. So let me see. You guys are probably what's the delay like? 2 minutes?
I hope it's not that bad.
Is the delay like? Is it like another time zone? Is it like really like a few minutes ahead where I am as opposed to where you are? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get cracking into this. Like I said, I hope you guys' week has been fabulous so far, and let's see what we can get into y'all before the weekend hits, so you guys don't be succumb to your heathen sin nature, you sinners. Let's see if we can get some inoculation going on here.
Yes. Holy Spirit.
Right? Okay, so we're at Genesis 23. This is a short chapter, y'all. This we might be in and out. Dang, In-N-Out burgers sound good.
And it comes down to
It comes down to burgers specifically. Okay.
Only took 1 minute.
Let's see what we can do with it. Okay, so Genesis 23. Now, Sarah's life was 127 years. The years of Sarah's life, just in case you didn't know who it was talking about. I was talking about Sarah. Once again, it's making it very simple for you. It's like, the Bible's so hard to understand. It's like God has a sense of humor. It's like, so he'll make something like really, really easy for you to get. It's like very obvious, So just to make sure you know that we're not talking about anybody else, and this is important for genealogical purposes also. It's like it kind of reiterates these things so we know the qualifying genealogy here that Jesus is going to descend from. So it kind of reiterates these things and makes it very obvious. Sarah died in Kiriath Arba. And Kiriath Arba, as far as I can understand, it means the land of four. Yeah. And the land of four that we're talking about here is Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Adam. Which I thought was interesting. It's like, okay, Adam is thrown into this quartet. You got Abraham, basically the patriarch of the faith of Israel. You got Isaac, who is kind of like the Christ figure that kind of includes the substitution. The one who is gonna between him and the ram that was supplied, there's the substitutional element in there, and then you got Jacob, the one who struggled, with God, and Israel would become his name, and then you have this nation that would follow. So it's like you got this little trifecta here, and then you got Adam that's thrown in it. We reach way back. Yeah. We're gonna reach way back to Adam, and it's probably having something to do because of the land, because this is where they were. Even Adam at the time was there. And then later on, you would have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob who would be there also. So that's probably why it's called the land of the four. Let's see. So we got the years of Sarah's life. Sarah died in Kiriath Arba. That is Hebron. And Hebron, as far as I know, means like friendly, or something like that.
Friendship, right? Alliance.
Right, friendship. Now, Arba, when you dig into the scriptures, you find that Arba is the father of Anak. He is Anak is descended from Arba. This is the territory that Anak came from. Anak was a Canaanite, basically. I mean, when you boil, this Canaanite is like this umbrella tribe that all these other tribes that lived in the land of Canaan, descended from. And I say this because, like I said, a lot of people believe that Anak was a descendant of the Nephilim. Anak and the Anakim are not descendants of the Nephilim. Anak and the Anakim descended from Arba. Arba was a king in Canaan. This is where they came from. So I notice like people will point to, they'll go into the account where Moses sent the scouts out, and the scouts came back and they gave him like 3 reports. And on the 3rd report, they said that, well, we saw the descendants of the Nephilim down there. We saw the Anakim. So people say, see, so there you have it. These giants, these Nephilim. And the Bible doesn't say anything like that. The scouts did. And bear in mind, the scouts, it's reported, the account says that the scouts came back and gave an evil report. Not just a bad report. They came back and gave an evil report. They lied. They lied about what they saw. They never saw the Nephilim down there. And the Nephilim and the Anakim are not the descendants of the Nephilim. The Anakim are the descendants of Arba, who was a Canaanite. So, just I want the Bible. If you believe the Bible, it's just looking at what it says. It's just like I said, when people say that, that says right here, that the Anakim were the descendants of the Nephilim. It's like, yeah, but you missed a part. You missed it where it says they gave an evil report. They lied. And this lie was huge. This is a big lie because it got Israel like all scared and stuff. God was so upset over this lie that he was about to kill all of the Israelites who believed them. Hey, this is a big lie. This wasn't a mistaken report. It wasn't a bad report like they made a mistake. They intentionally lied. Okay, so I just want to, let's kind of clear that up right there.
Christians believe it too.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's like, I know they think it's like some sort of abomination or, and the Bible doesn't say anything like that, that the Nephilim were an abomination or anything like that. The Bible doesn't say anything like that. But I think in our human sense of righteousness, we try to make it out to be that. And we get that from non-canonical writings, like the Book of Enoch and stuff like that. And you read that, and then you'll get this idea that the Nephilim and these angels were evil. There were evil angels. We got demons and stuff like that, but you're calling out the wrong ones. God has loyal angels, and there's rebellious angels. Yeah. And the Bible, when you read it, the Book of Enoch does not reflect what the Bible says. It doesn't square. That's why it's not in the Bible. It doesn't meet the canon. It's totally at odds with the Bible. So let's see. That is Hebron in the land of Canaan. Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep over her. Then Abraham rose from before his dead one and spoke to the sons of Heth, the Hittites, saying, and Heth means dread. Right? So we got the sons of Heth, the Hittites, saying, I am an outsider and a sojourner among you. Bury my dead from before my presence. Now it's like, okay, now, among you so that I may bury my dead from before my presence. The sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, listen to us, man. You, my Lord, actually, you are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the best of our graves. None among us will withhold his grave from you to bury your dead one. So now, mind you, these Hittites, their name means dread, and these are heathens, But even these cats, as low as they are, they look up to Abraham. It's like, wow, man, this is a respectable dude. This is a respectable prince of God. So even they can see it. And I think it's interesting that, they're offering up these graves like everybody's got one. And it's like, there are cultures that are like that. These, people like buy a plot of land and stuff like that. But it's like, it's like, hey, yeah, any one of us. All of us, anybody that you look at, yeah, he's already got a plot. He's already got a grave ready. It's like, so it's like this culture that is called dread. You know, is this like kind of like one of those death cultures? You know, and is that far fetched? We got a death culture in America today. You know, so we got people who out there talking about that people have the right to die and infanticide. I mean, well, infanticide, yeah, if you're about partial birth abortion, euthanasia, abortion itself. You know, we got this. You know, it's this entitlement to die culture that's out there. You know, it can gain steam. Why not here in America? It's not like it's doesn't happen in other places. You know, we got euthanasia in the world. So what is it about this that would seem so strange that you have this death culture that's already got graves ready? So and they're letting Abraham know, it's like, yo, man, you know, you want to use mine? You can use mine. You know, and when I'm dead, I'll crawl in there with you. So let's see. 7. Then Abraham got up and bowed down to the people of the land, to the sons of Heth, and spoke with them, saying, if you are of a mind to let me bury my dead from before my presence, listen to me. Plead with Ephron, son of Zophar, on my behalf. Ephron was, what's Ephron again?
That is fawn-like.
Fawn-like, right? He's got this strong now. I am Ephron. I'm fawn-like. So we got Ephron and son of Zophar.
Zophar is sparrow.
Sparrow, right? Wow, these are some.
These still sound like dreadful people.
I know. It's like, we are the Hittites. We are the people of dread. Aren't we, Sparrow? That's right, fawn-like. Fear us. We are mighty. I'm a mighty sparrow. I'll fly by really fast and poop on you. Let's see. All right, Ephron from Zophar on my behalf, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah. And Machpelah means... doesn't it mean bend over?
Double over.
Double over.
Or
Double.
fold.
Y'all, hey,
Your mind just went there.
No, it's like, I'm thinking like, it's like, you got these people that, you know, we're fierce. We are fierce and dreadful, aren't we, Sparrow? And then it's like Sparrow, fawn-like, bend over. It's like, dude. Okay, so the Hittites may have been, you know, there might have been some, you know, it might have been some, you know, I don't know, they might have listened to like a lot of, you know, Eurasia or Frankie Goes to Hollywood or something. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. They may give me the cave of Machpelah that belongs to him, and that is at the end of the field, at the full price. Let him give it to me in your midst for a grave site. All right. Now, Ephron, we're at 10. Now, Ephron was sitting in the midst of the sons of Heth, and Ephron, the Hittite, answered Abraham in the ears of the sons of Heth, all those who enter the gate of this city, saying, no, my lord, listen to me. The field I hereby give to you. Also, the cave that is in it, I hereby give it to you. In the eyes of the sons of my people, I hereby give it to you. He's kind of just laying that in. I am giving it to you. I am giving it to you. Bury your dead one. Then Abraham bowed down before the people of the land and spoke to Ephron in the ears of the people of the land, saying, but if you would only please listen to me, I hereby give the price of the field, accept it from me, that I may bury my dead one here. So Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, my lord, listen to me. A land worth 400 shekels of silver. I just want you to know how much it costs. Just throw a price out there. But what is that between me and you? Bury your dead one. You know, it's like, I mean, this interplay, okay, really quick. Okay, Abraham heard Ephron, so Abraham weighed out to Ephron the silver that he had spoken in the ears of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver at the merchant's rate. Okay, so you got this interplay between, the Hittites and Abraham. Now, I feel like what I'm gathering from that is you got this interplay between what Abraham is feeling that he could purchase, like his works, this is his credit, this is what he's bringing to the table, versus grace, right? This is kind of like, we start to see this, this formation of grace and works. And you got the grace figure here in Ephron, and Ephron wants him to know, hey, what this is worth. And so Ephron is like, by grace, it's like, no, I'm just giving it to you. It's yours, right? Whereas Abraham is like trying to, he wants to purchase it. It's almost, you have this mindset that you could purchase something and you don't see the grace in it. You're only seeing yourself in it. You're wrapped up in what you can do to do it, and you can't really appreciate the grace. And I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying that's one way to look at it. Maybe there's a lesson there to be learned in there. The other thing is maybe Abraham is saying, no. I'm supposed to receive this land from God. You can't give it to me. God has given it to me. Okay? The Lord promised me this land. And even if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it with what the Lord has given to me.
Amen.
The Lord has already shown me grace. Grace right now is, with all due respect, the grace isn't for you to show. It's for the Lord. Wow. And maybe another way to look at it is that Abraham is probably saying, no, I'm going to buy this, and nobody can hang this over my head. I'm going to buy it, and when I take that title, that deed, it's mine. Okay, nobody can be like, back, no trades back, or anything like that. So, no, I bought it. It's mine. Okay, and there's no in discussion. This is the land. This is the promised land. Yeah. Okay, and Abraham wants to lock it up. So maybe that's another. There's ways that we can look at it here.
These are interesting perspectives, honey.
Well, thank you, and now. Also, this plot here that is concerned with death. Okay? This is a plot that's concerned with death, and there's arguments about what Sheol is. You have the arguments that say that Sheol is basically when you just go to the grave and there's nothing else. That's it. Some would say that Sheol is a place of torment. I'm of the opinion that Sheol is a place of torment. Sheol, hell, Hades, these things are synonymous. And I know that you have people that disagree with that. One of the reasons why I disagree with Sheol, the grave, as just being you just go to the grave and that's it and you sleep forever. The reason why I don't agree with that is because if you promote this idea. I'm seeing somebody saying that the feed is freezing.
Yeah. It wasn't freezing for me.
All right. Hopefully, it's running straight now.
Yeah.
But
I hope she's still with us, hanging out.
Right. Okay, so that freeze made my brain freeze too. Dang it! Come on.
Sheol.
Give me my thought back. All right. Sheol. Now, if you promote the idea that you die and there is nothing else, really, y'all, who would be afraid of that? There's no fear involved in that. It's a good thing that we have, a book like the Bible to introduce that doubt, that there could actually be something worse than death, worse than what you're going through. Because if there is just nothing, a lot of people would take nothing over, the misery that they're in right now. Yeah. A lot of people, unfortunately, too many. One person doing it, is too many. People, they commit suicide, not because they prefer death. That's what they settle for because their life is just miserable. They're just so empty. So much pain, whether it's, maybe from disease or maybe it's just from heartache or just mental anguish or, whichever. If they get this idea that, well, man, they got this idea that, nothing can be worse than this. Now that's what this scripture out there that lets us know, y'all, there's eternal torment after death. Some people, they still don't believe that. But if the Bible was telling us, this book that, even somehow is able to garner a little trust from even people who don't really want to believe, they somehow they still give it credit. You got to. Okay? But if the Bible was to let them know that, oh yeah, Sheol, that's just, you don't go to hell after that. You just sleep forever. It's just you just don't exist anymore. You know how many people would take that?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, really? That's all? Everything ceases to exist? I'll take that if I could just make the pain stop.
Yeah, that's true.
People be offering themselves left and right. Okay? So, Sheol, y'all, is a place of torment. And you should let people, it should be clear. It's like, yo, you don't want to go to Sheol. It seems to me that whatever Sheol is, you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you think that even the pain that folks are in right now, God bless them. I pray the Lord's shalom and power to you. It's temporary, And now people say, oh, temporary. You're not living with it. Hey, trust me, I get it. Yeah. Even pain, like say for instance, a person who comes down with a bad cold, you sick for a day or two. That's a long day. When you're in pain, it seems like it's taking a long flipping time to get some relief. So why would you think that pain eternally would be better? It's eternal. Pain that you can't even, imagine. I mean, hell is described as a lake of fire, an abyss. An abyss is bottomless. It has no end. Okay? It's fire. It burns. These are things that people are terrified of. It's like when people think of like ways to die, people don't want to be burned to death. That's one of the top ways to burn to death. Another way that people fear the most is drowning. Well, the lake of fire is both. You will drown in fire. Another thing that people are afraid of is loneliness. People may like to be alone from time to time, but nobody likes to be lonely. Person goes into Sheol, lonely. Okay, that's it. Not even tormentors to comfort you. Sheol it sucks. Okay, so these are the things that are as it is described. When people be talking about, oh, you make your own hell. No, you don't. You don't make your own hell. That would mean that you would have some sort of control.
Yeah.
You ain't got no control in hell. You lose that luxury.
Yep.
To make your own hell. Ain't nothing on earth compares to hell, y'all. Nothing. And I know that there could be some rotten stuff, man. Rotten, ugly, suffering, morbid, deep suffering. And I don't take light of that at all. And that's why the reason, and in saying that, that's why you don't want to go to hell, because that would be a cakewalk compared to it being eternally. Not a hell that you can create. Not a hell that you can imagine. You don't even get to imagine what your hell would be like. Well, I think hell would be like, me going and I'd have to like listen to country music for the rest of my life or something. Like, no, you don't get to create that. You don't get to do that. Okay? God himself says, I reserve this place for the devil and his angels. Yeah. God did it. You don't get to fashion hell.
Yes, that's right.
No control. People live in, man, I was like, I want to be in control. I want to be in control and do things to get out of control. It's like, hell no, all that's gone.
So true, honey.
Okay? So, all that to say is, these concepts of the afterlife are introduced. Like you'll see, like say for instance with Jacob, when Jacob thinks that he loses Joseph, when he thinks that Joseph has died, he wants to go to Sheol. He's prepared to go into a place of suffering to be with his son. He thinks that he could be with his son. He's not right. He's not right because he wants to go see his son. He doesn't even want to go to see God. Jacob, who wrestled with God. Jacob, who God gave him his new name. He knew God. He talked with God. Knew him. But upon hearing of his son's death, it's like, yeah, let me die. When I die, I want to go see my son. I don't want to go see God. That's suffering. To be apart from God, oh, that's suffering. You'll suffer.
Did you say that's idolatry?
Yeah, that's idolatry. He wants to go see his son, not even wants to go see God.
Yeah.
Hey, so that kind of premium, I mean, that he would put on his son over God, y'all, that's not healthy. Hey, so these concepts are talked about. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this place that Abraham, purchased, this place of death, on the one side of that you got Sheol, and then on the other side of that you have Abraham's bosom, Abraham's side, or Abraham's bed, where the righteous go. So, these concepts of we get into concepts of well, where did people go when they died before Jesus did his work on the cross? So you have Sheol, place of torment, or you had Abraham's bosom, which was kind of like a quasi paradise. Abraham, this bay was this temporary place before all could ascend into heaven to be with the Lord. It's paradise, but it's not heaven. It takes God, it takes Jesus being there for it to be heaven. No place is. It doesn't matter how awesome some place is. Doesn't matter how paradisical some place is. It is not heaven unless the Lord himself is there. Okay? And Jesus is doing work. So Abraham is kind of like a temporary place. And even though it may be really nice, see, there's another problem. See, Abraham's bay, you will always have to, it can't really be peace. It can't really be paradise because there's always the possibility that death can enter. Death has not been dealt with yet. Okay? So, because remember, y'all, death entered through paradise.
Yeah.
All right. So in this case, with Abraham, that's why I'm looking at this plot of land, because it's like there's this setup here about the role that Abraham is going to play once a person dies. Okay? Are they going to go to Sheol, or are they going to go to Abraham's bay? Because Abraham is like, you got this interplay. And how's it going to be? Is it going to be because of works, or is it going to be because of grace? We got this interplay between work and grace. We've got this establishment of the land that's going to be promised.
Yeah.
And now check this out. Check this out. Now here's another thing to substantiate, what I'm talking about when I say that Abraham's bay is paradise, but it's not heaven because the Lord ain't there. See, when the Israelites go to enter the promised land, an angel goes with them. As far as I know, God doesn't go with them. See, the Lord ain't there. The Lord isn't there. So it's not heaven. It's temporary. And y'all, it's not purgatory because people don't go there to be purged. It's not like, you can be purged. It's like you go there and be purged of all your sins. Like, no, that's not what it is. It's not purgatory. So let's see. Where we at? Thank you for bearing with me as I went on that, bunny trail. All right. And Abraham heard Ephron. So Abraham weighed out to Ephron the silver that he had spoken of in the ears of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver at the merchant's rate. Now Ephron's field that is in Machpelah next to Mamre, the field and the cave that is in it, and all the trees that are in the field, in all its surrounding territory, was handed over. It looked like you got him a nice estate,
Yeah.
He's looking really good, Let's see. And to Abraham, we're at 18, sorry. To Abraham as purchased possession in the eyes of the sons of Heth before all those who enter the gate of his city. Afterward, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah next to Mamre, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that was in it were handed over to Abraham as a grave site from the sons of Heth. So he's repeating this.
Yeah.
So there's, like I said, there's something really significant going on here, y'all. And I think some of the things that we can examine is that interplay between grace, what you think you can purchase or buy, the land that was given by grace, the dynamic of where a person goes after death, This is before the work of Christ. Do they go to Abraham's Bay, or do they go to Sheol? And then one would ask, you know, well, what if a person wasn't a descendant of Shem, a descendant of Abraham? What about those people? It's the same thing, guys. Remember, God examines the heart. Now, if a person is going to the underworld, it's because they were just straight up a wicked person. We're all wicked. The heart of everybody is desperately wicked. There are people who struggle with that wickedness, who actually want to, you know, strive to be a decent person. And God weighs that. You know, as you can see now, we're grafted in. So at that time, it's like, well, did God just send people to Sheol, or did he send them to hell just because they weren't, you know, descendants of Abraham? God is a just God. So God gives them an opportunity to know him, and God will weigh their heart. And when they're brought in, do they get to examine who their Redeemer will actually be? You know, it's like God gives us the opportunity. He puts us where we have no excuse. If God just sent people to hell, that would not be a just God. God is a just God. He gives us an opportunity. If you don't take the opportunity, then you have no excuse. And God's like, there's nothing I can do. I can't force you to believe it. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to make you live in my kingdom, but I'll show the kingdom to you. I'll show you Redeemer to you. Do you accept it? No, because you may have some people be like, well, you don't square up with, you know, my ideals of what I thought. Like, say, for instance, let's say you got some kings at that time. You can see this, like, you know, with some of the pharaohs. You know, they when they go to their grave, they take their slaves with them. Yeah. You know, I'm a rule. They be like, I'm a rule in the afterlife, and I'm taking y'all with me. You know, so you have people that are like that. So let's say they die. And they want to rule in the afterlife, and they took their slaves with them and stuff like that, and they show up, and God's like, hey, this is your actual Redeemer, and let me tell you about the work that he's going to do to redeem mankind. And the person who died, he may be of royalty in his time, be like, yeah, that's all well and good and everything, but you expect me to serve you? I don't care who you are. I rule. I died to rule forever in the afterlife myself. I didn't die to serve. I don't, and God is the one who can actually say, I don't share my glory. But you may have another person who dies and say, like, no, I don't share my kingdom. I came to rule forever, and these are my slaves, and that's the way that it is. And Jesus be like, well, you know, I tried to help you out, bro. I'm not gonna make you live here. Go ahead and rule somewhere. Ain't no place else you can go. You know, the only place to go is Sheol. That's it. No place else to go. I'm sorry, but you can't create another afterlife. You can't do it. You cannot create an eternal kingdom. Nobody can. Only God can. You know, what is God supposed to make some sort of special accommodations for you? You give him the blow off. I don't want nothing to do with you, God, but I want you to make special accommodations for me. I want you to set me up like some sort of guest plot. You know,
like Nebuchadnezzar, he believed in the true and living God. Mm-hmm. He confessed to it. Mm. Yeah, you are the true living God. But he wanted to rule still. And he wanted people to worship him still. So. Yeah.
You know? So are we being too far-fetched here? No, we're not being too far-fetched. So those are, you know, just some things to consider. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Bible trip. Wasn't sure if oh, no comments. Uh-oh.
I hope it wasn't freezing. Woo. I didn't see any evidence on my side.
All right.